Hi everyone, my name is Sandi Chimpala and I am a technology blogger and CEO at Tech Trend Zambia, which is a tech media publication, a tech events company, and also a tech marketing company. So yeah, we are the hosts of the Tech Trend Zambia Awards, and we also hold the Zambia Techspo, which is an ICT and tech event later on in the year.
Everybody thinks you're the founder of Tech Trends, but you're actually not. Can you tell us how you actually ended up joining
Tech Trends? Okay, yeah. So in 2013, I had a Facebook friend who was working with two other guys, and they came up with Tech Trends Zambia. And he saw a personal blog of mine and he liked how I wrote somehow, even though it was not tech related. But he asked me to join the team, and so I did. And then those three tech bros later on left the company to me. So yeah, so now I'm the CEO. I am not the founder, but I am the CEO.
And how has Tech Trends evolved over time?
All right, so initially it was meant to just cover tech news and, write analytical pieces about the tech industry in Zambia, but now we've evolved into a tech events company, so we're hosting Tech and ICT Awards annually, and then we're also having the Tech and ICT Expo, which is called the Zambia Techspo. But that's basically just to create space for the tech industry players as well. So rather than just write about them, we're trying to bring them together so that they have one place where they can celebrate their achievements.
So speaking of tech events, you recently hosted the third edition of the Tech Trend Awards. Could you tell us more about that event and what makes it stand out?
So the Tech Trend Zambia Awards are basically one of maybe the only tech-related, super tech-focused awards in the country. And I started them in 2015, really. So it was all virtual at the time. It was 7 categories and 7 nominees that made it as winners that year. Then I didn't do anything about it for about 4 or 5 years. And then in 2021, I said, you know what, nobody's celebrating the tech industry like the Tech Trend Zambia Awards would. So let's make it happen. But it was too short notice for a lot of people to come on board and support it. But I mean, we still made it work. Last year it was amazing. This year was even more amazing because from last year we moved from 17 categories to now celebrating 27 individuals and companies this year that made it as the Tech Trend Zambia Award winners. So I mean, it's getting bigger, and hopefully next year it will be even way better.
Okay. So apart from being a tech blogger, there's the other side, which is that you're also a digital marketer. Can you tell us about that experience?
So as a digital marketer, I've been responsible for brand reputation, brand management, social media management for different types of companies. I've worked with NGOs, I've worked with private sector companies. I've worked on my own businesses for social media management. And basically, it's really about making sure brands kind of grow their reputation. They kind of get to know how people perceive their companies and brands, and also just get seen by the people who would not typically walk into their store, or who would not necessarily stumble upon a website. So social media is the easiest way to get the word out there, and I enjoy doing that. I love to see brands grow. So yeah, that's mostly what I do.
So as a digital marketer and a tech blogger, can you describe a typical week of your life? The day-to-day things might change, but there may be certain things like themes that are consistent throughout the week.
So only because I'm not doing one thing, my day-to-day is basically waking up and wishing I didn't. I'm kidding. No, but it's really waking up and just going straight into multiple things. So it's emails, it's phone calls. I have a daily call every weekday at 9 a.m. I have to be awake for that. And I don't know, somehow I'm not a morning person anymore. But yeah, it's basically about checking emails, following up on leads, and also because there's so many things that we're doing as Tech Trend Zambia, especially with the events, you have to keep talking to potential partners all the time. So it's basically a lot of WhatsApp messages like, hi, did you see my email? Getting blue ticked, feeling depressed, getting back up and be like, hey, did you see my email? I sent it to you weeks ago. But yeah, so it's a lot of following up on things, a lot of pitching, a lot of presentation, and then I also have a team of bloggers, contributor bloggers for the website, so they always have to send their content to me for editing, and then there's businesses reaching out who want advertising, so it's a lot of multitasking, and I just realized now that I need to delegate a lot of things.
And how do you stay up to date with the latest tech trends?
Oh, I have my Google alerts on for a lot of tech subjects. So ICT news by region, by country, by brand. I set a lot of Google alerts just so I don't miss any news. But then also just following some of the brands and pages and companies that you usually write about helps keep you updated.
What's your favorite tech event that you've attended?
Slush. So Slush is a startup event that's held in Finland, and it is where so many startups like gather together, showcase their innovations. You know, there's investment opportunities, but it wasn't really about the innovations that they make, because I feel like we have the same caliber of, you know, thinking here, but it was more about how the event is so organized, like the way they put in so much effort into the littlest of things. So I think that's where my inspiration for tech events came from. But Slush, definitely. Biggest tech event, best tech event I've ever attended.
That was a test. I wanted to see if you'd say Tech Trend Awards.
I should have.
Okay. How do you see digital marketing evolving in the next 5 to 10 years? Hopefully digital marketing in Zambia gets a bit more respect, because so much goes into it, literally, mentally and emotionally, and it takes its toll on you physically. But I think a lot of people who are digital marketers are super creative. Like, you have to think on your feet all the time, but it's not really rewarded enough in Zambia yet. I hope that in the next few years we get to see incentives, companies themselves seeing how serious it is. We had a conversation about this, and people were talking about how digital marketers get to be so many things. They're videographers, they are photographers, they are graphic designers, they are copywriters, they are editors, they are customer service, they are content moderators. You put on so many hats, and people don't get to see that. They just expect you to just sit and figure it out. But for that sitting and figuring it out, it takes a lot. So I hope people start getting paid what they deserve, and I hope that we get to have more companies realizing that a digital marketer is not all the things I mentioned in one person. There's some people who can manage and contribute to the strategy of how your social media or your digital marketing strategy can go, but are not necessarily everything in one. So hopefully they do set bigger budgets. That's all I'm rooting for. Bigger budgets, get people paid better. And in your opinion, what's the most groundbreaking technology that has emerged in the last 5 to 10 years?
I think mobile money has been the biggest tech achievement for me, because so many people have just jumped on board, and so many platforms have been co-created alongside it. So you have your fintechs now adapting it into their payments. You've got payment gateways that have checkouts with mobile money. I think it's made payments so much easier with lesser fees. It's easy to set up. It's less hectic than going to the bank. So it's attached to your number. It's really just made like payments, transactions in Zambia so much easy. Yeah, I think that's my biggest tech achievement that I've seen.
Okay, and what are your favorite tech gadgets or tools or app that you can't live without?
My phone. My phone, and it doesn't even have to be like any big brand phone. It is, but I can't live without my phone, because that's where my life and my work like lives. So my social life is on there, my work life is on there. I get things handled, I get things done on my phone. So definitely can't live without it.
Any particular apps?
I am always on Twitter. I'm always on Twitter because I feel like there's a lot more discourse in there that applies to my industry. So not necessarily the locals and what they're talking about, but I follow a lot of pages that interest me, like the tech ones, and it's usually snippets, because you know the character limits. Well, now it's extended with Twitter Blue, but there's so much to the point conversations about my industry that I get, and also resources and new people, new companies to follow from there that I can then follow on other platforms depending on what they do, or then I can go check out their website. So Twitter has been the most useful app for me.
Are there any tech innovations that have freaked you out or made you feel skeptical?
AI, ChatGPT, I love it. I'll tell you that, but I also hate how accurate sometimes it can be. It's not very accurate, but it can be, which is what's like super scary. And I hate how it just stores like your previous, I mean, our data is obviously out there, but it's just like, I send you a simple command and you're working on it from like something I sent you 2 weeks ago, like creepy. But I love it, so I'm on the fence with it.
Okay, and what do you think is the next big thing in tech?
AI. So it's simplifying a lot of the work that we do. And the thing is, people are like, it will take our jobs. No, it won't. Someone needs to control that. And also it's creating new, smarter jobs. So all you need to do is upskill yourself, find out what jobs are in the AI industry, because now if you were a copywriter, maybe you will be an AI copywriter, editor. I don't know if such a job would exist. But basically, no, the robots are not taking over. They still need humans to control them.
Taking it back to tech trends,
yeah.
What are some of the most interesting, or what are your favorite stories that you've covered on the blog?
Okay, so the one that's been stood out, I can't remember the exact one because it was like some years back, but it was basically me complaining about a mobile operator's product and they changed it within a week. I felt the most influential at that time. And I can't tell you who it is because, hey, I'm trying to get money out of them. But yeah, so it was really, I think my favorite pieces are the ones that are kind of on the go opinion pieces that I come up with about the industry. And they get the most conversation going because I think people relate to your frustrations, especially when you're frustrated and you write. Yeah, people will relate. They'll come. I just can't remember the exact titles, but I know I was frustrated when I wrote them.
Okay. Is there any tech innovation that you jumped onto late that you wish you had gone into sooner? Or are you always on the pulse of things?
I feel like I have not had anything that I've been left behind on, and if I don't jump on it, it's just basically a personal choice. Like I know what the particular innovation does, but I don't need it or I'm not interested.
Okay, so there's been a lot of talk about how we spend so much time with our faces in the screens, and we need to, like, say, do a tech detox. Do you ever reach that point where you need a detox, and if so, how do you unplug?
Tough question. I don't think I ever have no technology around me at any given point. So maybe when I am asleep, but even then when I get up to like use the bathroom, I'll come back and check my phone. Like it's a bad habit. I do need to unplug, so I can't even speak about unplugging because I really don't. But when I am relaxing, it's usually just about spending time with friends or myself, Netflix and chill by myself. But yeah, my phone will be nearby. I need to learn how to unplug. I don't know how to, I think.
Project for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, what app or gadget do you wish existed that hasn't been invented yet?
I wish there was an app that could deal with business registration processes all in one without having to do physical papers. You know what? I actually wish there was a central government app where you could just click on a few buttons and get what you need sorted, so we could avoid these queues that we have. You know how we generally have this thing about going to a government office, go at 8, you're coming back out at 16. So I wish there was something more central. I know they've tried to link some of their platforms to each other, but I wish there was just one where I'm clicking buttons and uploading documents that don't have to be handwritten and printed and, hey, save the planet. So I wish there was that app, like a master government app.
Do you have a specific routine you go about your day with? Like when you get up, how does your morning look like, or how does your evening as well look like?
Okay, so because I'm not a 9 to 5er generally, my days can be very random. So some days I can wake up very early depending on what I have to do that day or who I need to meet by a certain time. But other days it's just like, okay, I'm working from home, so I'm just staying home and on my laptop like the whole day. So no, there's no particular pattern. It just depends on what I have to do that day. But I do a lot of things virtually, which is where everybody needs to get to. Yeah.
Okay. What compliment do you get the most? And what criticism do you get the most?
Wow. I don't know if this is a compliment, but it's always work related with me. So it's never about like personal or whatever. It's always just like work. Everybody would be like, oh, you're doing such a great job with tech trends. Oh, we didn't know. Is it just you? Like, where are the guys? There's like a little backhandedness in there, but like, thank you so much for recognizing my work with tech trends. The worst comment I receive, geez, I don't know if people really own up to their, I was about to cuss. I don't know if people really will be negative to your face, but I haven't seen a bad compliment in a while. Maybe that's just because like this year I decided to mind my own business, like about things.
It's like among friends, not even like people talking about you online.
Oh, so the most negative compliment, no, not negative compliment. That's contradicting. What did you say? Negative what?
I said, what do you get complimented about the most, and what?
So okay. I get complimented a lot about the work that I do, and that's maybe because I'm really hanging out with in circles that have to do with work. So I'm not really spending a lot of time that is like social with strangers where they give you other kind of compliments. But yeah, I think I appreciate the fact that people are taking time to look at my work and appreciate what we're trying to do at Tech Trends. Negative comments is really just about, I think it's more about me and my face. And when I'm not speaking or smiling or talking, I have a really bad RBD, like RBF, sorry. So yeah, my RBF is really bad and I apologize. There's nothing I can do about it, but really just approach me and I will smile, I promise.